far away. My heart pants for you, Jesus, like a deer for the water brooks. I'm hungry, I'm thirsty for your righteousness. I want more of you, Lord. I want more of you.
And welcome to Inspire and Uplift Radio with LaShonda Oates Millsap. I am so happy to be on air on this evening because I have two phenomenal guests, and it has been a fantastic day for me. I just wanted to take the time to also let the North Carolina educators, our teachers, know that we appreciate them and we appreciate what they are doing, and they are a blessing to our children. So just want to send a shout out to them. So with Inspire and Uplift Radio with LaShonda Millsap, the goal is to inspire and encourage others to pursue their hopes, their dreams, and aspirations. We have two wonderful guests on tonight. The first guest will be Letitia Nicole, and the other guest will be Jamie Vane. And they are two wonderful women of God that have succeeded and excelled in both of their fields of expertise and in their careers. So tonight we'll get started with Letitia Nicole. And Letitia says that I'm just a girl from Detroit, Michigan, who had dreams of success. In 1992, she moved to North Carolina with $15, 4 outfits, and a dream. The thought of being what others said she would become gave her the perseverance to gain admittance to Livingstone College, which is in Salisbury, North Carolina. Her passion for helping people led her to transfer to Winston-Salem State University, where she gained her bachelor's degree in nursing with honors. From there, Letitia has just exploded. I feel like she has obtained her master's from the University of Phoenix. She has 2 combined degrees. She is a mother, a child of God, and she just is just phenomenal. She is an entrepreneur. She is a spokesperson or has kind of coined the phrase of speak life. Letitia, I know there are a few things that I have left out in introducing you. Let me add a couple of other things. She is the marketing director for Surge 365, and she's an author. She's a mentor to many. She has numerous awards, a humanitarian award. She's the executive director of the Year Award. She got Phenomenal Woman Award. And just she has so many awards up under her belt, and she has been a blessing to me in so many. Letitia Nicole, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you today?
I am doing well and wonderful, and today is an awesome day because we got another day to get it right. So I am excited about today.
Yes. And so also, I actually met you when Cameron and your son played basketball together with a team, AAU team, and I am so glad that our paths crossed in that way. So is there anything that I left out? I know you have a wonderful husband and a wonderful family. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? Tell us who Letitia Nicole is.
Absolutely. Well, as you stated, I am, first of all, a child of the Most High God. I am a daughter. I am a wife. I am a mother of 2 amazing boys, Antonio Carlisle Beatty II and Aiden Cole Beatty. And I am also a nursing home administrator for a 140-bed building with 200 employees. I am a marketing director with Surge 365 with over 500 people that I'm mentoring. I am what they call a life coach where I teach women and girls how to conquer their fears and to become all that God designed them to be. You already spoke about the Humanitarian Award. I am a 3-time award-winning author. My first book is about Speaking Life, How to Speak Life. It's a devotional, how to speak life into your health, your wealth, your finances, and your relationships. My second book is on Unsilenced, Faces of Domestic Violence. And my third book is Healing Toxic Habits. So I have some more things coming down the pike, but all in all, I am a servant of the Most High God, and whatever he tells me to do, I say, okay, you can use me, Lord, and I'll do it unto you. Back to you.
Okay. So with all of that said, did you ever picture yourself doing all that you're doing right now? Did you always have, like, high self-esteem, or what kind of, did you picture yourself doing what you're doing now?
Absolutely not. I used to be quiet. I actually, and I'm just going to tell the truth to shame the devil. Me and my mother was just talking about this. I used to get spankings because I wouldn't speak up for myself. I would get spankings because I would let the children down the street take my toys. And I'm like, Mom, they can have them. I don't want it. She said, go down there and get your stuff. Don't stand up for yourself. And if you come back to this house without that down, I'm going to whoop you. And so, literally, my mother made me start talking and defending myself. And she would sing to me. She would sing to me, and if you don't mind, she would say, sometimes you win. Sometimes you lose. Sometimes you want to cry. Sometimes you play head and fool. And I'm like, what? And she was saying to me who I was. You got to hold on a little longer. You got to be a little stronger. And you can win, and you can win in everything. So I didn't even understand, even as a child, being picked on, being talked about, being labeled funny looking, being, the least likely to succeed because my mom had me at an early age, and, a single mom. And I did not understand that my mom was speaking life into me even then. Okay. So it's like even going into college, Livingstone College. I was in remedial classes, being labeled. Wow. So who would have that I would have a master's degree, a bachelor's degree in science and nursing. I would have a nursing home administration license, and I would be going back to get my doctorate. Who would have known the little girl that was labeled least likely to succeed will be a 3-time award-winning author, a humanitarian, have a nonprofit organization? Nobody would have known that. They said that I was going to be a stripper somewhere. So the devil is a lie. Back to you.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I love about you. You keep it real. I know the first time I actually met you, I didn't know you had all of that under your belt. You were so humble in even disclosing that you had a book. But from then on, it seems like everything has kind of like exploded and doors have opened. So tell me about your vision and your platform with Speak Life.
Absolutely. Thank you. Now, my vision is that I'm able to go all the way around the world and speak life into the women of the world, and to the families of the world, and to the children of the world. I like to start with the seed. That's my fourth book, is actually speaking life into the child. But I know that God put me on this earth to teach women how to speak life into themselves first. First. So many times we hide it with Maybelline and Fashion Fair and MAC and God said that He wants us to get joy for real, peace for real. But in order to know to get that, you got to know who you are. So my vision and my mission is to speak life all over the world and to lift each woman, one person, one word at a time, that you are wonderfully and fearfully made. And I believe that for all of us.
Okay, all right. And so with your books that you have, also, do they kind of, is that something that you integrate in your books also? Because I know you had said you experienced domestic violence and some other issues. Do you integrate the Speak Life philosophy into those books also? I know you have a devotional book, I think it is. Also, Yes. Do you integrate that in your vision also?
Yes. Now, with the first book, that's totally devotions with a reflection and the goal. And what I do is I teach women and men how to transform their lives with the words that they speak. Okay? And so and it also has a journaling section where you can journal. And I also use the Word of God because faith come by hearing and hearing the Word of God. And so it's like learning how to apply the Word of God to your life to change that, what you feel you need to change, right? So I also know if faith come by hearing and hearing the Word of God, I also know that we have the power of death and life in our tongue. And those that love us shall eat the fruit thereof. So if we repeat these things, and we believe them for ourselves, if they're not deeply rooted things. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some pros and cons, and I speak about this. There are some pros and cons to affirmations. They don't work for everybody. For anybody that's sitting here listening right now and affirmations hadn't worked for you, well, that's something that's deeply rooted. But that's not what we're talking about today. But I'm just telling you, affirmations work for things that are surface. But once you get rid of that one thing, it'll trickle down and show you who you are in another place. So that's what my books do. They help you heal in that area. But once you finish healing in one area, you will see another area because we're not perfect, and we need the Word of God. So that's what my books draw you to use the Word of God to help you in those areas because we're not just hearers of the Word. This is what the Word said, but we're doers, so we don't deceive ourselves. So this is what I write about and what I speak about. That's you.
Okay. And as far as organizational memberships, what are you a member of?
I am a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Oh, Lord. You know I'm a girl.
I know. Yes, I am a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha.
It's all love, though.
It is all love. It's all love. And we got the mission to help everybody. So as long as we sisters, we doing what we're supposed to do, right? Divine Nine, as we sisters. So I have my own nonprofit organization called Purpose Professionals, but everybody still knows us by Professional Divas. And that's because that was what when I first wrote my nonprofit, I called it Professional Divas. But then because I'm speaking life and I learned if we go to Africa and call ourselves divas, y'all, we'll get killed because they look at divas as a demon or a devil. The only thing that's divine is it's like divination. And the enemy tricks us to call ourselves divas, and you find yourself acting haughty. And see, because you're shaping your reality by the words that you speak. And so I had to change that. I said, wait a minute, we're not professional divas. What you mean we professional witches? We professional devils? Oh, no. We are purpose professionals. So that's my organization, Purpose Professionals.
Okay. And so with Purpose Professionals, is that the organization in which you do a lot of giving? I know that you have fed over 1,000 people in 2013 during Thanksgiving. Is that something, or even more? Can you tell me about that?
Absolutely. Now, I have to start from the beginning because in 2013, I heard the Lord say, feed 1,000 people, and I didn't have $100. And I'm like, what? So I take it to my board, and I tell them what I hear the Lord say, and they all look at me like I'm crazy. So I believe I heard God, I believe God, so I took it to social media. And that first year, over 2,500 families got fed. The mayor of New York got involved, Atlanta got involved, Michigan got involved, surrounding cities in North Carolina got involved. Well, to make a long story short, now over 6,000 families are being fed from that one seed. 6,000 families now, and it's going to grow and grow and grow, and I'm looking for more leaders that are willing to take it to the communities and underserved communities within their area. Myself, I love the geriatric population. You know, I work in a geriatric population. I run a nursing home. So I've adopted J.J. Henderson Towers here in Durham, North Carolina, to where all 300 of their people, they get groceries and toiletries, and I got like over 300 pair of socks and soap, and I just collect things so I can give to that population. So I think I'm believing God is going to be over 6,000 this Thanksgiving.
Wow. Now, that is incredible. That definitely is a work of God, and so many people are blessed by you having that vision and God touching your heart to do that. So can you tell me about some of your challenges and obstacles that you have faced?
Absolutely. Some of the challenges and obstacles that I face is that people like to put me in a box. And they say, well, you do too much. You all over the place. Well, I believe God said that I can do all things. That's strong, okay? And so I can be a minister. I can sing on the praise team. I can do praise dances, and I can help feed the homeless and clothe the homeless. I can run Surge 365 and drive a 3-car and bonus 4 $10,000 bonuses and one $50,000 bonus and $1,000 bonuses, and then go and help other people do it too. They try to limit me and put me in this box, but see, my God is not in a box. Mm-hmm. And that's what I found, it that people will put their mouth on you and try to tell you who you are. And see, now that I know who I am, and see, because there was a time that I didn't know who I was, and I would dumb down, and I would turn off my light. I would put it up under a table. I would just turn it down because, you know, other people got offended by it. But the thing is, if God made me who I am, and I'm not ashamed of who I am, and I don't know a broken lamp that can shine light. So now that I'm not broken, come on, I need you to hear me. I'm not broken, that I am healed, delivered, and set free. My marriage is the bomb. I'm married to my best friend. It took 18 years now. And I got 2 amazing children. My mother is about to move to North Carolina. My daddy on his way too. I am whole. And so now I'm able to teach other people how to be whole. So, but that was the challenge that I had, that people were like, okay, you're a nursing home administrator. Stay there. Sit there. No, the gift giver gives the gift. And I can do all things. So that's what I find, is that, you know, people they'll be offended because you seem to be doing a lot. But I just believe that God created us to do what he told us to do, not what people think we should do. Back to you.
Yes. Okay. And I was just listening to a previous guest. Her name is Garlinda Price. And that is the very thing that she was talking about. She was talking about how the men in the Bible, they were given 5 talents, and they went out and they multiplied those talents and used them. But there was one that kind of buried his. And so it's important to get out and use that talent and step out on faith. Thank you, Garlinda Price, for dropping that in our spirit today. And so that's very, very important. So you are just confirming what she is saying. So it's very, very important to use your gifts. I know for myself, I initially definitely didn't want to do any kind of radio stuff because, you know, sometimes we have our gifts and our weaknesses. And so sometimes you just got to step out on faith and believe God will bring your talents forward, and other people will be blessed when you do that. What do you think about that, Letitia?
I think you just said something real good to my whole entire soul. And everybody needs to listen to what she said, because it's real and it's true. Because when you function in your gift, when you stay in, and people say stay in your lane, well, what if I got many lanes?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So when you believe that God is giving you a gift and you don't bury them and you allow them to multiply, and let me tell you, that gift that you have, if it's just big enough for you or it's not big enough, your vision isn't big enough. And if you're just using the gift to make your pocket big or make your house big and get the best car, that gift still can be taken away from you. The gift giver gave us the gift to go help somebody. Mm-hmm. We have a purpose, and my purpose has become my passion to help people. And because of that, I became prosperous, not the other way around. And so people like to say that I'm so busy. That's why I don't like the word busy, because busy to me is being under Satan's yoke. I'm not busy. I'm productive. I'm productive. And then I'm not poor-minded. POOR, passing over opportunities repeatedly. I'm always progressing. I'm always learning, and I'm always a student, even being a mentor.
Yes. Yes. So do you think it's important to have a mentor in what you're doing? Even though you're doing multiple things, do you think it's important to have a mentor?
I have multiple mentors. Yes, it's I think it's imperative. One of my mentors is Juliet St. John. She buys islands. You hear me? She was homeless, about 6-7 years ago, and now she's buying islands and hotels. I have another mentor. His name is Nick Paganos. He's a multimillionaire. He's in Detroit, Michigan. And see, I feel like where you see yourself, that's who you should surround yourself around. I can learn from them. They can pour into me, and they won't try to stunt my growth. I'm also reading. I feel like reading is the most important thing that you can do. Reading, get knowledge, get wisdom, and understanding, right? And so, like, even right now, I'm reading Millionaire Success Habits. So you have to read where you see yourself. And you have to prepare yourself. And you have to, I'm going to tell you like this. You can stay in a circle if you want to and play Ring Around the Rosies, Pocket Full of Posies, Ashes, y'all falling down in that little circle. Okay? Or you can bring or put yourself around people that really do believe in you, that's not crabs in the bucket, that's trying to bring you down, that's telling you what you can't do, that won't support you in your business, that won't talk about you. Put yourself around people that's going to edify and lift you up higher.
Yes, yes. So it's very important also to network, right?
Yes, very important to network, and it's good to be around like-minded people. Sometimes when we network, if you find yourself getting around people and they don't have the same mindset, that's not the people that you need to be networking with. You need to find the people, and I say go to different networking events. Matter of fact, make some networking events. Draw people to you. And have your own. You can start, and I'm going to get this out for free, you can start at Chili's or start at a restaurant with a little room for free. Put it up on the meetup. Ask business women to come and bring their business cards so y'all all can meet each other. That's what I started in North Carolina when I first moved down here in Durham, because I didn't know anybody. I said, come on, you guys, let's meet and greet in Briar Creek.
Wow.
And that's how I met like-minded women, and I started having events vending events, and then I opened up a store in Northgate Mall. I had a kiosk in South Point Mall, and then I started showing them women that they can have stores. Now, we don't have to just have, a table at somebody's event, and I had the mall allow me to bring those women in and to let them set up around the mall and sell their items for a day.
Wow.
So we can do all things. Oh yeah. It was called a community day in the Bull City. It was a community day. And so we should be able to do that for each other and help one another.
Yes, most definitely. Okay, so I know we have a couple of minutes left. Now, I was always interested. Now, how did you end up taking a picture with T.D. Jakes? You actually met him?
I actually met T.D. Jakes. My organization was invited to Purpose Professionals, was invited to breakfast with T.D. Jakes. What was that, last year or year before last? Because I actually was modeling in the modeling that day for, what is that called? Women's Empowerment. Right, Women's Empowerment. And that morning, and I had already said it. I'm going to tell you what I did. I said it to myself. I had 3 books. And I said who I was going to give those books to. I said, this book is going to be in T.D. Jakes' hands. Okay? And so I spoke that into existence. I believed it, and it came to pass. And it's so funny because I had these books in my hand, and T.D. Jakes was walking towards me in the hallway, and I froze. Come on, I'm going to tell the truth. I froze. And he kind of like bumped into me, like, oh, excuse me, and he kept walking. I was like, So I was like, oh, God. I went back to my seat, and I was like, oh, my God. So I kind of wrote in the book that I said that was going to be his, and I went back in the hallway, and I was like, okay, Letitia, okay. And as I'm getting myself together, he walked right into me again. So I got myself together, and I said, Bishop, and I started talking to him, and I don't know what I said. He said, calm down. He said, he started prophesying over my life. Wow. He started telling me things about myself and what I would be doing. Some of the things I'm doing right now, he spoke great wealth over my life. And it was a lady, I was just holding my phone and holding his book as he was speaking into me. She said, girl, do you want a picture? I mean, I was just gone. And so he said, that's right, I'm going to hold your book. This is my book. And we took that picture, and when I tell you that has blessed my life to this day. It's blessed my life unto this day because that book has gone into his hand, and people see that Bishop has the book, and he put his stamp on it. Then it must be all right. Because when I tell you, I left there floating on cloud nine. And it just seemed like it just been signs and wonders even ever since I was able to bless Nene Lee with that book. And I let her know that it will speak life into her life. And people were saying, well, how was she? She was receptive. She was receptive. This is a book that's helped. This is a self-help book. It's helping us. And so I've been able to T.D. Jakes just blessed me. I'm just tell you the truth. So I'm looking forward to do just some more amazing things with that book. I'm not done. People say, you always use that book. That's your first book. Use another book. That's the word of God. It never grow old.
I know that's right. Wow. Okay, so we're going to have to wrap it up. Can you give the radio audience your social media information and other information if they want to get in contact with you?
Absolutely. If you would like to contact me, my website is LetitiaNicole.com, LATICIA Nicole.com. On social media, I'm Letitia Nicole on Facebook, Letitia Speaks on Twitter, and Letitia Nicole Speak Life on Instagram. And I thank you so much for having me on your show today.
Yes, absolutely. And you have been such a blessing with your encouraging testimony and your powerful words. And God bless you. Tell the family, give them hugs. Tell your husband and the boys, or young men, hello. And I am so proud of you, and you keep doing your thing. We'll go to break now, and God bless you. Let's go to break. God bless
you. In everything I do, I want more of you. Lord, I want more of you. Less and less and less of me, and more of you.
again, and thank you for joining me and listening to Inspire and Uplift Radio with LaShonda Millsap. I have another guest. Her name is Jamie Vane, and she is just amazing to me. Let's start with her introduction. Jamie Vane is a representative and a makeup artist for a well-known national brand. And she, in her previous career prior to doing that, she was an actress and she was a model. She has starred in some movies, or she has worked in Runaway Bride and The Replacements. She has also been in commercials for Busch Gardens, and she also has been in some magazines that are very well known. She has worked for MAC. She has also been a sales executive for CBS. She is a mom and a mother of two wonderful children and a wife. Jamie is also a graduate of E. Smith High School in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I'm very proud of that. Jamie, are you here with me now? Hello, Jamie? Jamie, are you here? Okay. Seems as though we are having some technical difficulties. We may have to pause for a second and go to break and see what exactly is going on. Can we go to break, please?
LaShonda?
Yes. Hi.
I'm here. They just unmuted me. Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you? I got a little
I'm
nervous there.
fantastic. I'm fantastic. Thank you so much for having me on the show tonight.
Yes, yes. And did you hear the introduction that I had given for you?
I absolutely did, yes. Thank you.
Yes. Now, is there anything that I have left out that you would like the audience to know?
No, I think you've pretty much, gotten a lot of it, and I think as we start to talk, we'll find some more things out, and things will kind of flow organically.
Okay, okay. And so I also forgot to add that you are an air guest host on HSN.
Yes, I actually work with Lancome Cosmetics. I've worked for this amazing brand for the last 10 years, and it's been a life-changing experience for me to work with them. It's changed my life professionally and also personally, and I was blessed about 15 months ago to be asked to join the Lancome on-air HSN team, and it's really been phenomenal for me.
Wow, wow. Now, did you ever picture yourself doing that? You've always been a beautiful young lady. I remember you in high school, and I said, wow, she's so pretty. Did you ever picture yourself getting to that level where you would actually be on TV and doing the things that you're doing now?
LaShonda, I'm going to be honest and tell you yes. I had a vision of myself in high school of what I wanted to do, and I wanted to be in the entertainment industry. I wanted to, when I was in high school, my only vision was to be a model. That was my goal. But as I got into the business and started to work, my dreams started to expand, and I started to act. I was modeling, I was acting, I dabbled in the music business for a very short time. And I realized as I was doing this, that I wanted to work behind the camera as well. So I started learning how to do makeup artistry. And once I did that, that's really where my life began to take some really amazing changes, and I started to grow. I had some really great experiences as a model. I have done national campaign ads. I've been in InStyle magazine. I've worked with Muscle and Fitness. So I've done some really great things in my life. I've also done a lot of television and film and commercials. But I think what really has driven me is that as I started to work with people, I realized that I was a natural teacher. And that's where my life really started to change. Yes, I can be in front of a camera, and I'm good at that, but I'm great at working with people and empowering people to be better at whatever it is they want to do. And that was when my life really started to take a great change, and Lancome Cosmetics was such a huge part of that for me.
Wow, that is amazing. So, can you tell me about some of the magazines and how that felt? Because are you originally from Fayetteville, or where are you originally from?
We actually grew up in Fayetteville, right there with you, Murchison Road, woo woo, and went to. So yeah, but I moved out 4 days after high school and really went out on my own and started to try to make it in life. So yeah, originally from North Carolina, but now I live in Florida.
Okay. So you moved from Fayetteville to where to expand your career? Do you think it's important if you want to go into that field of modeling and entertainment that you kind of have to expand your territory and go to a larger place?
Yeah, whatever dream you have, whether it's modeling, acting, or whatever it is, you have to go where the business is, that you are there to be able to develop yourself and grow. At that point, I went to Baltimore because I personally was not ready to go as a country girl from North Carolina to go right to the mean streets of New York City. So I went to Baltimore and started to develop my craft and take acting classes in Baltimore, and then I would get on the train and go to New York and do auditions and things like that. And I also worked locally in the Baltimore market because the Washington, D.C., Maryland market was huge for movies. A lot of people, a lot of movie houses want to film in the D.C., Virginia, Maryland area. So it felt like a good place for me. What I'm most proud of is when I went there and I started to develop my craft, if I had never had the determination and the grit to go and move away from my family, I would have never met my husband and I wouldn't be where I am now. So I do think it's important that if you have a dream, that you be brave enough to take a chance and whatever your dream is, to pursue it. I think a lot of times in life we are really crumbled by fear, and we have people around us that tell us that maybe we can't do it, or we have self-fear saying that we don't think we can do it. But you have to be your biggest advocate, and you have to believe in yourself more so than anyone else even believe in you. I mean, my parents were not happy when I decided that I wanted to move to Baltimore. I didn't even have a car. I had the clothes on my back and, a duffel bag, and I moved to Baltimore. But being able to say that I did that, it taught me some really valuable lessons. All of my friends were going to college, and I didn't have money to go to college. My parents were very honest and said, we don't have the money to send you. So I had to make a decision. Did I want to stay and work in a job that I didn't love, or did I want to take a risk and do something that was in my heart, even if other people didn't see that vision for myself? You have to see your own vision, and then you have to work to get to your own vision. So moving to Baltimore was kind of a compromise within myself because I knew I wasn't ready to go to New York, that I was too young and inexperienced and naive to go to New York. But moving to Baltimore really allowed me to hone my craft and get my self-confidence and develop who I was as a person, that I was ready to say yes, to say no to people. So believing in yourself is the best thing that you can do as a person. Even if other people tell you your dreams are not valid, you are the only person that can tell you whether or not your dreams are valid. The small dreams that you have in your heart, they can become big things, but you just have to do the work. So develop your talent, be humble, and then be able, this is a big thing, be able to take feedback that you can grow. If I didn't develop the ability to listen very early on, I wouldn't be where I am now. Being able to take feedback and take that feedback and act on it immediately, it really helps me in so many areas of my life. And I can tell you with right now, my primary job with Lancôme, I'm the makeup artistry manager for the South. So my job is to train all of our beauty advisors. I train a third of the country from Virginia all the way to Texas, back to Florida, and every place in between in the South, is to train them how to do beautiful makeup, how to empower women, how to connect with people. And I think connection is really missing in our society today. And so for me to do that with beauty advisors every day, if I wasn't able to listen, if I wasn't able to get their feedback about what they needed, I wouldn't be a good trainer. So it's really about how do you humble yourself How do you take feedback so that you can grow? And every day is an experience, and everything that I've gone through my life, the good, the bad, the ugly, it really led me to where I am. So if you are out there and you're on the phone and you're thinking and you're listening to this show and you're thinking, I have a secret dream, it doesn't matter how old you are. Your dreams can happen. You just have to have grit to get there and be willing to do the work. So to kind of wrap back to what we were talking about, I think taking chances and being brave is really huge in your life. And it can affect you in so many ways, whether you choose to be brave or not be brave. I'd rather be brave and make a mistake, because that's where real life lessons come from, is being able to make a mistake, know it's a mistake. Do you wallow in self-pity when life doesn't go your way? Or do you say, you know what, I got some lemons, I'm going to make some lemonade. And I choose to make lemonade every day of my life.
Yes, yes. And that is a great philosophy to have. I was just saying, I said, yes, the lemonade, you definitely have to you have lemons in your life, but you make lemonade and you make it something good. And you certainly have done that, and I appreciate you sharing those experiences with me. So you have been married also for how long now? I think you recently celebrated.
Yes, 24 years last weekend.
Wow. That is a blessing.
Okay. It is. He's quite amazing. I have to tell you that.
Yes. Yes. And so he has been supportive of everything, I'm sure, of everything that you've done. But I'm sure that can be a little, stressful on your family and things of that nature. And you had to overcome some challenges with that. Now, tell me, you have two boys?
Yes. I have two children. Okay. One is 15, and my little one is 12. They're not so little. They're as tall as I am. But I have two boys.
Oh, okay. Okay. And so in getting to know you, you have shared that both of your boys have challenges. Can you tell me about that?
Well, we don't choose to look at them as challenges. We choose to look at them as that it's just a part of who they are. Both of my children are autistic. And okay. I'll just give you a quick brief background. My husband and I were married for 9 years before we decided to have children. We wanted to get to know each other and make sure we liked each other enough before we, brought children into the world. And it was a decision on our parts where we wanted to, buy a house. We wanted to go on vacation a few times. We wanted to kind of develop ourselves before we chose to have children. And when we first were blessed with a baby, I unfortunately miscarried at 4 months, and it was devastation. My life was turned upside down. There's so many women and men who experience the loss of a child. My world was turned upside down, and I was in a very dark place. And we couldn't conceive for a year. And I kind of just thought that maybe God was trying to tell me I was meant to be a cat owner. And if I was going to be a kitty cat owner, that was fine. But it took me a minute to kind of accept it. I was thinking maybe it's just not what God wants for us. And I remember we went to Mexico and still couldn't get pregnant. And I just looked at my husband and I'm like, well, maybe this just isn't for us. And I decided to just let it go. And then, lo and behold, about a month and a half later, I discovered that we were pregnant. And the pregnancy was great, but his birth was very traumatic. He almost died. And he was a very big baby. He was 10 pounds, and I was in labor for 24 hours. And when he came out of the birth canal, the cord was wrapped around his neck 3 times. And I actually passed out because it was so traumatic for me, and he wasn't breathing, and they wouldn't let me touch him. I couldn't even function. My husband couldn't cut the cord. But, after his birth and when he laid on my chest, when they brought him back when he was stable, he actually made this little cooing sound where he was in such distress when they brought him in the room. He was pink and his hands were clutched together. But as soon as he got on my chest, he made this little cooing noise. And I knew in that moment that my primary goal, no matter what God gave me, was to be this child's mother. Because I had prayed to God when I couldn't conceive that he would give me a chance to be a parent. Give us the chance. And I remember telling God, I will take whatever you give me. A girl, a boy, a child with disabilities, I didn't care. And he answered my prayer and gave me a child with disabilities. So when he was diagnosed at 3 years old, at first I was devastated. My husband was devastated. We went through mourning of what we thought what he couldn't do. And then I remembered the prayer that I prayed. I remembered that I asked him to give this to me. And I realized he gave it to me because I have a strong spirit. And my goal is to help this child develop into a strong spirit. And my husband, who is incredibly a strong-willed, strong-spirit person, to help him as well. So I sloughed off those feelings of depression and mourning and reevaluated my situation. And I realized it was a blessing that I had been given. And that little boy changed my life. He changed my husband's life. He changed how I view the world. He changed how I look at people who are on the street who are homeless. I used to think, wow, why can't they get a job? Selfishly. And now I think, wow, what got them there? Now when I see someone who's less fortunate, I speak to them. I talk to them. If I can help them, I help them. Because a lot of the people that you see who are homeless in this world, they're not there because of their own making. None of them are. But what if that was my child? A lot of people who are autistic are homeless. So it changed my view on the world. And it made me become a fighter. I always was tough. I always had grit. I always had determination. But now I realize my job was to take my grit and my determination and be an advocate for my child. And when we got pregnant again and were blessed again 2.5 years later, we had another baby. And he had such personality. He was so funny, and he was such a good little boy. But he was just recently diagnosed as well. And when he was diagnosed, it was almost like I knew it was coming. And I sat down with him, and I said, I want to talk with you. I said, I know that sometimes you feel like your brother gets attention because he's autistic, but what would you feel like if I told you that you are autistic? He said, I would be okay with it. And I said to him, I said, you know what? I said, I want you to view autism as not as something that makes you less than. It makes you more. People who are autistic see the world differently. They have a way of processing information that allows them to see everything in the world in black and white. And in some ways, it cuts right to the quick of it. And if you're a good person, they see it. If you're not a good person, sometimes it takes a little longer to see it. But they see you for who you are. People who are autistic can see you for you. There's a beauty in that. So I teach my children every day, don't compare yourself to other people. And it's very hard because that's what we do as humans. We compare ourselves to everyone, and we want to be as better as that person and try to get there. But be the best you can be today. Don't mourn over what you can't do. Celebrate what you can do. And that's what we teach our children every day. So my biggest blessing has been even all of my success with my career, from movies to acting to modeling to Lancome Cosmetics, which is the heart of my professional career. My children have been the catalyst for everything that I've done because their disabilities, I realized, are abilities, and it's my job to be proud of who they are. They're two young interracial men who will grow up to be strong men and be proud of who they are. Autism is a piece of them. It's not all of them. And I think for all of us that are dealing with things in our life, no matter what you're going through in your life right now, it's a piece. It's a moment. It doesn't define you. You have to really think about where you want to go and realize that things that happen in your life, trials, tribulations, suffering, all of that is part of the grit that you need to get where you're supposed to go.
Yes. Now that is absolutely incredible. I love that. Those are words of definitely encouragement, and I know you have inspired someone today that has a child that has autism, and I know for me, I have had some students that had autism, and they were the most beautiful people that I've ever worked with. Like you said, they see the beauty in you, and it's just like they were just so loving and just so innocent and authentic. And so it's a blessing. I definitely see what you are saying when you shared that about your children. And so I'm sure that has definitely made you into a well-rounded person. And I appreciate you sharing that with us today. So also, I think you covered a lot, but are there any successful strategies that you use every day? How do you start your morning, or how you close out your evening, that you think really make your life more effective, or make it a little easier?
Well, when I get up every morning, and this is going to be hilarious, but I start my day with coffee, and so many of us do. But in my coffee time, I really use that time to just center myself, to be at peace with who I am in that day. And my goal every day is to be the best person I can be always. I think a lot of the times we wake up and we think about all the things that we have to do that day, and what do we have to do, and drop the kids off. But I think if we just take a moment and just honor who you are in that day, I always say life is not about perfection. It's about progress. So maybe you don't have a great day today. Give yourself permission to not be perfect every day, but give yourself permission to be a little bit better today than when you were yesterday. And if you didn't have a good day, that's okay. If I used to strive for perfection. And it really almost killed me at one point. And I don't mean literally killed me, but I mean it was so stressful, and it made my life so difficult, because I was trying to be perfect every day, be perfect in my job, be perfect in motherhood, be perfect in being a wife. And I realized one day when I was stressed out and just how am I going to do all of my jobs and be a great mom, I realized that children look up to their parents, and there's nothing that they think you can't do. Husbands look at wives and they see the beauty of perfection, even if we don't think we're perfect. We look at our husbands and are like, wow, I love that he does this. So I decided to let go of the inauthenticity of being perfect, because it doesn't exist. If you can just take a moment and realize that you are perfect in that moment right then, where you are right now, that's the point, because tomorrow's another day. And I just try to be my best person every day. When my children want to talk, I talk, no matter what time it is. If I'm in a meeting, I'll text them and say, I'm in a meeting, I'll call you at this time, and I don't write my words. In fact, my son's texting me now. But my husband and I speak every night at 9 o'clock. No matter what time, zone I'm in, we talk every night, and it's how we stay connected. But I also make sure that I honor my husband and my family every night. I thank my husband for being an amazing husband. I thank my husband for being my backbone. I thank my kids for being awesome kids. I thank them when they're being, crazy kids, because that's part of growing up, whether you're autistic or not. And then lastly, I thank myself for having that grit and determination that gave me the drive and the bravery to step out and do what my heart wanted to do when people told me I couldn't do it. If I never believed in myself, I wouldn't be here. So people on your show tonight who have that secret wish, they have that thing that they want to do, I want to tell you, I believe you can do it. There's nothing special about me, in comparison to anyone else. The only difference is, and I don't even know if this is a difference, is that I took a chance. I was bold. I chose to be brave. I was all right with making a mistake, because some of your best life lessons come from mistakes. And because I was able to go out there and just, try it, I didn't take no for an answer. I took lemons and I made lemonade. If something didn't work, I found a way to be, solution-oriented to get myself where I wanted to go. You have to speak into the universe what you want. My husband and I, when we first got married, my husband made a vision board one day where he put a beautiful house, he put an ocean, he put sun, he put a car he wanted. And he would look at that every week. And he started reading self-help books and, books that he felt like motivated and inspired him. Now, I'm not a self-help, kind of girl, but he would talk to me about the books that he read. And what is funny, 24 years later, everything that my husband put on the board is in existence now.
Wow. Wow. Wow, that is incredible. So you definitely believe in vision boards too, huh? That's important to be able to put those things up and see them each day.
Yeah, I think you have to put your, my dad always says, he can't wait till his ship comes in, And I said, well, Dad, but you got to go out and meet the ship. You can't wait for the ship to come to you. You got to go meet it. So you have to visualize what you want. And when you visualize what you want, your mind finds a way to get there. My husband now and I were talking. I said to him a couple of weeks ago, I said, I would love to live at the beach. So you know what we've been doing? We've been driving to the beach, just looking at the houses, looking on Zillow, see how much they cost. What do we need to do to get there? Because you have to put into the universe what you want. I might not get my beach house this week, but I might get it in 10 years. The point is that you have to visualize it. And if you speak into existence what you want, the universe is listening. Whether you choose to call the universe or God or whatever you believe in, it's listening to you. He's listening to you. But you have to be ready when the door opens. So keep positivity in your life. People that are negative, repel goodness and good things. So people who are negative, pray for them, throw the blood of Jesus on them, as I call it, and then keep focused on what your dreams are. And if you fall, it's okay to fall. That's part of the journey.
Yes. Okay. Well, we're going to have to wrap up, and you have been a blessing, and you have shared some wonderful, unforgettable wisdom about how to be successful despite obstacles, challenges. You just are an inspiration to so many. Is there any way, or would you like to share how people can get in contact with you through social media or through email or, anything like that?
My Instagram page is public, so it's Jamie Vane Longcomb, and people are more than welcome to reach out to me on my Instagram page.
Okay. Well, that will round out our show, and thank you so much, Jamie, for coming on, and continue to post when you're on HSN, because I often will sit and look and have my chest stuck out. That's my girl right there from Facebook.
Well, I'll be on tomorrow night in the 8 o'clock hour, so.
Yes, okay. Well, God bless you, and God bless your family. Thank you for being on Inspiring Uplift Radio with LaShonda Millsap. Thank you, radio audience, for listening and supporting our show, and continue to reach for your dreams and aspirations and know that you can make it. Have a wonderful evening.